Close your eyes for a second and picture the color red. You can do it instantly. It is just there, vivid and complete, the moment you call for it. Now, picture a color that has never existed. Not a shade of anything you have seen. A completely new color. You cannot do it. No matter how long you sit there, no matter how hard you try, your imagination will not produce it. And the reason why is not that you lack creativity or that your mind is somehow limited. The reason is that your brain does not generate color at all. It never has. And understanding what your brain actually does instead reveals something strange about the nature of reality itself. Here is where it starts. Your eyes contain two types of light-sensitive cells: rods, which handle low-light vision, and cones, which handle color. Most humans have three types of cones: one sensitive to long wavelengths we call red, one sensitive to medium wavelengths we call green, one sensitive to short wavelengths we call blue. Every color you have ever seen in your entire life is a combination of signals from those three cone types. Purple is your red and blue cones firing together. Orange is red and green. White is all three at once. Your entire visual experience of the world, every sunset, every painting, every face you have ever looked at is built from three numbers. Three signals mixed in different ratios. That is the full palette your brain has to work with. Now here is the critical part. When you imagine a color, your brain is not accessing some separate imagination engine. It is running the same visual system it uses to see. Brain imaging studies confirm this. When you picture something vividly, the visual cortex activates in almost the same way it does when you actually look at it. Your imagination is a replay system, not a creation system. It can only replay combinations of signals your cones have already sent it. A new color would require a fourth type of cone, sending a signal your brain has never received. And no amount of mental effort can fake that signal from the inside. This is not a quirk of imagination. It is a fundamental constraint on the structure of human perception. Your mind cannot exceed the hardware. But here is where it gets genuinely interesting. Some people do have a fourth cone. A small percentage of women, estimated somewhere between 2 and 12%, carry a genetic mutation that produces a fourth type of cone sensitive to wavelengths that fall between red and green. These people are called tetrachromats. In theory, a tetrachromat should be able to perceive colors that are completely invisible to the rest of the human population. Colors with no name. Colors no language has ever needed a word for because no one could see them. A researcher named Gabrielle Jordan at Newcastle University spent decades searching for a true tetrachromate. She found one in 2010, a doctor in northern England who had lived her entire life not knowing she was perceiving a world that no one around her could fully see. When tested, she could distinguish color differences that were completely invisible to trichromates, differences in shades that ordinary human eyes see as identical. She was seeing colors that have no name and no description because there was never a need for them. And here is what that tells you about your own experience. The colors you cannot picture are not hypothetical. They are real. They exist as wavelengths of light hitting the Earth right now. You are simply not equipped to see them. Your visual world is not reality. It is a filtered sample of reality assembled by a brain that only built the hardware it needed to survive. Other animals carry completely different hardware. A mantis shrimp has 16 types of photoreceptors, not 3, 16. The question of what a mantis shrimp experiences when it looks at the world cannot be answered by a human brain. We have no reference point, no analogy, no way in, because we cannot picture what we have never sensed. A dog lives in a world of 2 cone types and smells so detailed that it can track a single person's footsteps across miles of city pavement. A dog's internal model of the world is built differently, not worse, not better, structured around a completely different set of inputs. Every animal with a nervous system is running its own private simulation of reality. And none of those simulations is complete. Philosopher Thomas Nagel wrote an essay in 1974 asking a single question that has not been fully answered since. What is it like to be a bat? A bat navigates and hunts by echolocation. It builds a detailed map of the world from the echoes of its own sound. Nagel's point was not that bats are interesting. His point was that no amount of human knowledge about bat neuroscience gets you any closer to experiencing what a bat experiences. You can know exactly how echolocation works and still have no idea what it feels like from the inside. The same wall exists between you and the tetrachromat. You can know exactly what a fourth cone is, what wavelengths it detects, what signals it sends, and still have no access to what she sees when she looks at a garden. Your inability to picture a new color is not a failure of imagination. It is evidence of the wall between one mind and another. Every conscious experience you have ever had exists inside a container built by your specific biology. You cannot see outside the container. You cannot even imagine outside the container, because the imagination is inside it too. And the container right now is the only tool you have for thinking about any of this. If that is not the strangest thing you have heard today, you are not thinking about it hard enough.